I'm glad you actually brought up the point that, that right now it's purely speculative, but that's the information that we're going to deal with. So a ligament is a structure that helps to hold two bones together at a joint. Basically, it's a bunch of fibers that line up parallel with each other, and the purpose of those fibers is to help to make sure that the two bones stay close to each other and give the joint better stability. Now, when you injure that ligament, those fibers, you'll tear a few of the fibers, in the lowest grade injury. In a moderate grade injury, you could tear a bunch of those fibers, or in the highest grade injury, you could tear all of those fibers. What we can tell from the fact that a player is day to day with an injury like this is that it's most likely a low grade injury to some of those fibers of the ligament. Something that would be a more moderate or high grade injury wouldn't be day to day, that'd be week to week or month to month in some cases. So those are really good signs that we're dealing with damage to just a few of those fibers of the ligament, if that's what in fact the injury is.
Yeah, it's interesting that Coach McDermott didn't say a lot today, but even the little bit that he said, you can sometimes take away a lot from that, right? In terms of if, let's say, Josh doesn't get to play this weekend, there are a couple of different scenarios in which someone wouldn't play. One would be you don't want to risk further injury to whatever the injury is. The other would be sort of a pain management situation. Do we have any idea which of those two is more likely here? Is it that they're playing it safe so it doesn't get worse, or maybe just that it hurts a little bit or could impact his throwing?
That's probably the more likely of the two. So a lowest grade injury is probably going to take 7 to 10 days to really kind of get to the point where you're performing back to the level that you would be expected to without adequate pain management. So one of the things that we can see with a ligament injury to the inside part of the elbow is that sometimes that can affect your throwing accuracy, especially with higher velocity throws. So that might be one of the considerations that you might have. It might be one of those things where somebody who is throwing a ball might see how the accuracy is working over the course of a few days of practice or prior to the game to see what it's going to feel like when they're throwing, especially some of those deeper or higher velocity throws. Given the way that the weather potentially looks on Sunday, I think that has the potential to be problematic for somebody that's dealing with this type of injury. Are you saying that Josh Allen is a high velocity thrower? I think it's been said. I think that I think that the next gen stats and they've got the microchips now inside the footballs, and I think that his air distance traveled on his last throw of the game on Sunday was 70 yards. So I think that's that's a pretty good indicator. It's something to behold for sure. I've only got about 30 seconds left, but Josh Allen is in now the midst of this new 6-year contract. It's a ton of money. He's everybody's favorite player. You want to have him around for a long time. Is there any sort of long-term concern with something like this? We would expect a UCL injury to an elbow to heal essentially pretty close to normal. If a player had a history of having an injury to the same body part, it's a reason why people might pay extra attention to it. But a low-grade injury, we would expect to have a pretty full recovery. Dr. Jason Matuszak is Chief of Sports Medicine at Excelsior Orthopedics. Thanks so much for helping us better understand this as we're all crossing our fingers. Yes, we are. All right. Thank you.